Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is April. I'm so happy you stopped by. It's extremely exciting this week because it's almost Halloween and we're going to be making a spooky red truck. We're going to be using the Happy Harvest red truck, also the little chalkboard signs with the clothespins. I found these ghosts online and I just printed them off and I'm cutting them out with foam board. The paint I used was Delta Cream Coat in Payne's Gray and Anita's acrylic craft paint in Pumpkin. These ribbons I got at Michael's, and you'll need some box cutters to cut out the ghosts, and of course your handy dandy finger protectors for the glue gun, scissors, and I used a heat gun again to try to get the Happy Harvest, the glitter off, and the scraper. But to tell you the truth, I just spent a tiny bit of time using the heat gun and I still wasn't able to scrape those off. But through a mishap of making this project, I found out that you can get that glitter off really quickly with just a little bit of water and just a little bit of elbow grease, but it doesn't take long at all. So we're going to paint over the Happy Harvest portion with our zinc color. And since I hadn't used the water technique to get the glitter off, you can still see the Happy Harvest come through. But that's going to be covered up eventually. Just putting the first coat on. Now we're going to put the second since that's dry. There's our spooky sign from the Dollar Tree. So we're doing the second coat in zinc. It'll make a nice background for the silver spooky sign. And just get something sharp to pry that maple leaf off. And it does tear some of the paper off on this sign, but don't worry, we're going to cover that up. Then we cut off the twine with scissors and just pull out those things that held the twine in place. We're not going to use that twine. So then this is the fun part. After you cut out the ghosts in the foam board, then you can just take a Sharpie, fine point Sharpie, and draw little faces, eyes, and a mouth. And I'm just using the paper as a guide that was printed out from the online ghost that I found. This actually was a fun little project because I did kind of change some of the eyes and mouths to make them scary and also not so scary. You of course could use your own imagination and use whatever kind of facial expressions you want for your ghosts. This would be a fun project for the kids or grandkids too. They could draw the faces. This is really kind of funny because I did decide to put the maple leaf back on just like that, and I did a bunch of really crazy things to this spooky part of this sign. Luckily, I came to my senses and cleaned all of that off and started over again. So it looks much better than it did when I first finished with it. So now we're going to glue all these cute little ghosts on the around the pumpkins. You can just put them wherever you want. You can put them on the back end of the truck or up by the pumpkins or wherever you think would be cute. I got this idea from a Michaels advertisement that had black cats on the back of a red truck. And I just thought, oh, I think that'd be really cute with ghosts. My favorite holiday is Christmas, but my husband's favorite holiday is Halloween. And he's done some pretty funny things through Halloween and scaring kids half to death, but he really enjoys that. And I made a deal that I wouldn't put Christmas things up until after Thanksgiving, but I may have to go back and renege on that this year so that I can decorate for the projects that I have coming up. I love this deluxe bow maker. It is so easy for me. I have arthritis in my hands, and it's really easy to use the bow maker. And they come out really, really pretty each time. You can make them large or small or as many layers as you want. I just decided to do a couple. It's best to twist the ribbon as you're going in the center, and you can fluff out the bow part, pull it apart and fluff it. And you need to really tie it secure in the middle. You can use string. I use floss sometimes. That nothing breaks floss, it seems, and that works really well. You can use yarn or just about anything, wire, whatever you prefer. Just make sure that you tie it nice and tight. I'm using orange ribbon at the moment, and I'm going to be cutting it in half and just making maybe 2 or 3 inches of ribbon, and this you're going to secure around the center of the bow. This is when I started making a mess with the spooky. So as you can see, it's painted orange, but not only that, I put some baking soda and paint to try to make it a more porous surface, because initially I had put the hot glue on the wrong side. So it was all lumpy with hot glue, even though I tried to get most of it off. So I thought, I'll just make it more porous and so you won't see that, but I didn't like the way that it turned out at all. So even though I spent a really long time painting the back end of the truck and doing different things, I just didn't like the way it turned out. So it's much cuter now. Then I remember I had this really cute little ghost that I got at the Dollar Tree. So I thought, well, I'm going to paint him white with chalk paint, and I'm going to put him up there with those other ghosts. I'm glad I did, because it needed something more back there. So you just paint the front and the back and the base. Actually, I ended up tearing off the base. I didn't need the base. And I stapled the ghost to the sign. To me, that was the easiest than just gluing part of it. And then I'm just putting the black marker inside the the mouth and the eyes, just to give it some more dimension. And that cute little chalkboard with the clothespin, I just painted Boo on there and put a little bow on top of the maple leaf and raffia. And then I decided to put on the license plate 6 ghosts for the license plate. So what I did is I just turned the sign over, and I'm going to hot glue some twine ribbon or burlap ribbon. And I was pretty generous with the glue so that it wouldn't come off. The sign, it may not look very heavy, but it needed some extra glue to hold it in place. You could also put tape over the ribbon as well after you've used the hot glue. Now we're just going to glue the ribbon, the black ribbon, black and white ribbon on top of the burlap ribbon. Just fluff it out. I love to make these little projects for my grandkids. They get excited for all the holidays and to have things look fun and not so scary. Anyway, it turned out really cute. So here's the final reveal. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I'd love to have you join my YouTube family. Until we see each other again, be brave, be kind, and be loving.